Your favorite song? It might just have a deeper meaning. Tales of subliminal messages, calls from Satan, and hidden messages when played backwards have been swirling around music for a very long time. But how much of it is actually true? Well, surprisingly, many of the most famous songs that you thought had a positive message are actually much more sinister than you realized. Here are 10 songs with creepy hidden messages. Number 1 is Every Breath You Take by The Police. The Police's 1983 hit, Every Breath You Take, is still considered by some to be one of the best love songs of all time. But if you take a closer listen, this song is actually a lot more sinister than sweet. The song sounds like a lot of other power ballads from its time, which makes it seem like Sting is just so in love that he can't take his eyes off his sweetheart. But it's actually way creepier than that. The truth is, his baby is actually his ex. And yes, he is full-on stalking her. Like full-on Big Brother style. Every step, every smile, every breath, looking in your windows, watching you sleep, stalking. Sting wrote the song after he left his wife for her best friend and was working through all the drama of being an obsessed ex-lover. The interesting thing is, he's never denied the song's real meaning, even if fans refuse to believe him. So if you were thinking of using this as your wedding song, you might want to reconsider. Number 2 is Imagine by John Lennon. John Lennon's Imagine has become one of the most well-known songs and has been likened to a national anthem for the world. The 1971 hit has inspired generations to work towards a utopian future where everyone lives in peace. But what you may not have noticed is that the lyrics are basically the Communist Manifesto. In case you didn't know, communism doesn't exactly have the best track record, and it was particularly dangerous to identify with the political movement during the Cold War era. Now, Lenin claimed that he was always more of a socialist than a communist, but he did believe in a world, as the lyrics say, without countries, religion, or possessions, which are the major principles in communist ideology. Because of that, some people consider the song's message very controversial. In fact, in 2001, the mega media conglomerate Clear Channel Communications put Imagine on their post 9/11 Do Not playlist. Number 3 is Hit Me Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. It's not much of a surprise to think of rock and roll or metal bands declaring their love for Satan or putting other hidden messages in their songs. But what about pop singers using the same trick to become international superstars? Well, that's exactly what some people think Britney Spears did in her first single, Hit Me Baby One More Time. Now, we all know that sex sells, but Britney Spears was only 16 years old when that song came out in 1998. Record executives were really walking a fine line when they put Britney in a skimpy Catholic schoolgirl outfit for the video. But that's nothing compared to the secret message in the chorus. When played in reverse, it pretty clearly sounds like Britney is telling the audience, "Sleep with me, I'm not too young." Maybe now it's not so shocking that on her follow-up album, she told the world outright that she's not that innocent. Number 4 is Hotel California by the Eagles. There has been speculation that the Eagles' hit Hotel California is actually about devil worship since it was released in 1977. The band's guitarist Glenn Frey wrote the lyrics, and they are a bit on the nose when it comes to Satan innuendo. Some of the lyrics include "This could be heaven or this could be hell, they just couldn't kill the beast," and "You could check out anytime but you can never leave." But while the band claims that the song was really about the hedonistic nature of the music industry, there's actually another hidden message in this song. When played backwards, it's claimed that you can hear the lead singer Don Henley calling to Satan. And giving him props for starting his own religion. Number 5 is Gonna Raise Hell, Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick released the track Gonna Raise Hell in 1979 during the satanic panic of the 1970s and 80s. The moral panic, which was basically a modern-day witch hunt, was huge in the US, where fundamentalist Christians feared the rise of Satanism. They believed that there was an underground group of Satanists led by the devil himself planning to take over the world. They claimed that when Gonna Raise Hell was played backwards, you could hear the message, "You know Satan holds the keys to the lock." was discovered using a technique called backmasking, which is when music or a message is recorded backwards but can only be heard when played forwards. It wasn't really a new idea that rock and roll was the devil's music, but worried parents believed that rock musicians were filling their music with hidden messages in order to corrupt young people and bring them to the dark side. Or, you know, just party really hard, which is to some people the same thing, I guess. Number 6 is Better by You, Better Than Me, Judas Priest. The heavy metal band Judas Priest released their cover of Better by You, Better Than Me in 1978, but it wasn't until 7 years later that the song gained international recognition for all the wrong reasons. The song became the center of a lot of controversy after December 23rd, 1985, when two of the band's loyal fans, 19-year-old Raymond Belknap and 20-year-old James Vance from Reno, Nevada, attempted suicide after allegedly listening to this song. The boys' parents blamed subliminal messages in the music for causing the boys to experiment with drinking and drugs before turning a shotgun on themselves. Belknap died instantly, but Vance survived for 3 more years before eventually overdosing on prescription pills. But it gets even crazier because in 1990, Judas Priest was actually brought to trial for their supposed role in the suicide attempts. Vance claimed that they were being controlled by the music and that when played backwards, the song was telling them to do it, do it, do it over and over again. Number 7 is Avoid the Light, Pantera. Pantera does not mess around with letting you know exactly who they are and what they stand for. The band formed in Arlington, Texas in 1981 and embraced the sound and aesthetics of the heavy metal genre, including all allusions to the occult and devil worship. They were strongly influenced by Black Sabbath, who are considered to be the pioneers of heavy metal and also gave the world the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne. Pantera's 2000 song, Avoid the Light, was included in the Dracula 2000 movie soundtrack because it's, well, about Dracula. So it's fitting that the song also includes subliminal messages, and man are they creepy. Throughout the song, when it's played in reverse, you can hear a deep voice saying Satan's wrath is the only choice and his stillborn army is impeccable.
Satan's wrath is the only choice. His stillborn army is impeccable.
Ah, what does that even mean? I don't like it. Number 8 is Strawberry Fields Forever by the Beatles. Though it is one of the most famous songs by the Beatles, Strawberry Fields Forever is also the track that helped spur the rumors that Paul McCartney is actually dead. One of the most bizarre, but maybe kind of believable music theories out there is that Paul McCartney actually died in an accident in 1966 in a car. That just 1 year before Strawberry Fields was released. It's claimed that because the band was so popular, Paul was replaced by a look-alike to avoid mass hysteria and total emotional breakdown of millions of teenage girls around the world. According to legend, the band had left clues in their music for real fans to uncover. Apparently, if you listen carefully to Strawberry Fields, you can hear John say, "I buried Paul, I don't believe it." But the band actually knew about the claims being made, and it seems likely that they were just messing around with paranoia or conspiracy-obsessed culture of the times. Or were they? Number 9 is the White Album by the Beatles. Now, if you thought Strawberry Fields Forever was trying to tell you something mysterious, then the Beatles' The White Album, released in 1968, must be the holy grail of subliminal messages. Finding clues to Paul's death throughout the band's work has become a pop culture pastime, and there are even tons of websites and fan forums devoted to trying to find the secrets. In 1969, a Detroit radio station was the first to say that when Revolution 9 was played backwards, the phrase "Turn Me On, Dead Man" could be heard. Also, between the tracks I'm So Tired and Blackbird, the mumbling heard is actually meant to be Lennon saying, "Paul is dead and I miss him." The band's press team officially denied the claims that Paul was dead, calling them absolute rubbish. But the Beatles had admitted to backmasking on their 1965 album, Rubber Soul, so it's not much of a stretch to think that they kept doing it. But the question question remains, is Paul really dead, or is all of it just some psychedelic fun and games? And number 10 is Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. Maybe one of the most notorious subliminal messages in rock music is in Led Zeppelin's iconic 1971 song, Stairway to Heaven. Zeppelin had a reputation as satanic rockers, which was fueled by guitarist Jimmy Page's interest in the occult. Back in the 80s, evangelical TV priest Paul Crouch accused the song of devil worship. He claimed that when the lines, "If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now," are sung, if the track is played in reverse, what's actually being said is completely different. He thinks what's being said is, "Here's to my sweet Satan, and I sing because I live with Satan." Singer Robert Plant and the band both dismissed the claims, saying that they were totally unfounded and ridiculous. But if you listen for yourself, it does really sound like that's what he's saying. But just in case, next time you're at a bonfire and some guy busts out an acoustic guitar, save yourself from potential satanic possession and tell him to play something else other than Stairway to Heaven. So those were 10 songs with creepy hidden messages. So the question of the day is, do you know of any other songs with creepy hidden messages? And if so, what are they? Leave your comment below because I'll be looking through them and I'm going to pin the best one to the top. But as always, thank you guys so much for coming by today. Remember to come back tomorrow and every weekday at exactly 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'll have a brand new video for you. I'll see you then.